Welcome back to the channel. So today I'm doing a new type of video. This is called ranking recent watches. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go through movies that I've recently seen and I'm gonna rank them, and that's it. That's the whole thing. I should mention I'm ranking these from memory. I don't have a ranking listed right here, so I'm kind of just doing this off the top of my head, and I might piss some people off. This first episode was pretty difficult because there were a lot of good films, but the films that we have are Ginger Snaps, Pearl, 31, Urban Legend, Lake Mungo, Talk to Me, Dredd, You're Next, Saint Maud, and The Innkeepers. At number 10, I'm gonna have to put 31. I think Rob Zombie's a cool guy. I like to see one person go from a medium to another. He goes from music to making films. I think that's cool. I think it shows a lot of passion and creativity that's trying to get out, and I really respect people that do that type of stuff. But I just feel like his movies oftentimes leave me kind of with this bland, forgettable experience. It's usually nothing that stands out really hard in my mind. I haven't seen all of his stuff. The only movies of his that I've seen are 31, House of a Thousand Corpses, the Halloween remake, and Lords of Salem. But I feel like overall most of his films are rather forgettable. A lot of them can have cinematography that's questionable. I do think that Lords of Salem and Halloween were much better in that regard than 31 and House of a Thousand Corpses, which was just, I mean, that was too much. That was too much for me. But that being said, I can still respect Rob Zombie because he definitely has a very unique style. You kind of feel like you're watching a Rob Zombie film, so I can at least give him credit for that, even if the style isn't always my favorite. 31 might be a movie that I would put on in the background at like a Halloween party or something maybe, but overall I just don't see myself revisiting this film too often. Up next, I'm gonna put Urban Legend. I really had high hopes going into this one, and maybe that's why it was disappointing, but I found it rather bland. I found the storytelling not that great. I thought I had to suspend disbelief a little much. I just feel like the only reason I would go back to watch this is for Rebecca Gayheart because, oh my gosh, she's stunning, and also, the 90s time capsule aspect of it, because that's cool. But honestly, if I just want 90s nostalgia, I'd rather watch I Know What You Did Last Summer. No disrespect to Urban Legend, I think there was potential there. It was kind of like Ghost Ship, where the premise was really good and then the movie just didn't really live up to what it could have been, in my opinion. So that being said, Urban Legend is placed at number 9, but I will say that it's kind of interchangeable with number 8, which I'm gonna put The Innkeepers at number 8. And I'm putting The Innkeepers at number 8 because although it didn't do anything exceptionally well, I felt that the tension was a lot better in this film, and overall I found it to be a lot scarier than the previous 2 films on my ranking. This is one of 2 films by Ty West in this ranking, and I think that it's okay. I think the character building was decent. I like the dynamic between the 2 ghost hunters. I thought that some scenes had a good amount of tension and were a little spooky, but as far as story goes, it felt very, very bare bones. Like extremely bare bones. I don't even remember much about the story or the outcome. It didn't stick with me at all. It basically, there's a ghost in a building. Have you heard that one before? But here we're getting into the top 7, and I should say that these top 7 are all really, I'd highly recommend all of these films. At number 7, I'm gonna put Lake Mungo. I think Lake Mungo is incredibly inspiring. It seems like a very low-budget film that does a really good job at building atmosphere. It's very effective for not showing too much on screen. There's a couple of plot twists, and overall the story is just this intricate trail of breadcrumbs. It's just laid out in a way that it keeps giving you a little bit to want more. You just want more, and a little more, and a little more. And it keeps your attention the whole way. It's interesting, it's mysterious, there's a plot twist. The end part, I felt like I wasn't really expecting something that I got, and I got it, and then it kind of made the movie, it put the movie in like a different category for me a little bit. I don't want to get into spoilers really, so I'm not going to say anything more, but I will say that overall, I think Lake Mungo was A really interesting film, relatively unique. It kept my interest the whole way. The storytelling was good. There was a plot twist or two, and I think that it's a movie that will stick with you far longer than the previous 3 films. Alright, number 6 and up is where it starts to get, like, I would easily recommend any of these films. They're all really good. Lake Mungo is great too, but I could see maybe a certain audience not being as excited with that. But I will say this top 6, I think I could easily recommend to pretty much anybody. Some people are gonna get mad. I'm putting it number 6, Ginger Snaps. I think Ginger Snaps is a great movie. I think it's great. I went into this with a good amount of anticipation because I've heard people say that this is one of the best werewolf movies out there. And I gotta say, I mostly agree that it is very good. Would I say it's the best? I don't know. I haven't seen enough to decide that. I do think that werewolf films are overall slacking in comparison to vampire films that I've seen so far. But werewolf films, there's not that many that stand out, and I think that this movie stands out very much so, because not only is it a werewolf movie, it's a movie about coming of age. It's a movie about love between 2 sisters and their bond. It's a great film. I in the beginning I did get a little turned off by like how cringy edgelord the sisters were, but eventually I really started to like them and I started to care about them. And the ending, I'm not going to spoil it, but the ending hits pretty hard, and where they chose to end the film I thought was great. And I think it's great, and it's no shade to this movie. It's a shame that I'm putting it so low on the list, but again, this list is comprised of films that I just happened to watch really good movies recently. So yeah, number 6 is Ginger Snaps. Number 5, I'm gonna say You're Next. I'm gonna put You're Next at number 5 because I think it's good. I think it's really, really funny. I think that the lead protagonist is incredible. I think that she is one for the ages. She's definitely gonna go down in horror history. I think it's good. It's surprisingly funny, and it's gory. If you like I was about to say eye candy. If you like carnage candy, eye candy for deranged people, then this film has got plenty of it. I thought it was surprisingly funny. I thought it was rather gory too. So if you like that, this film has some of that. The ending was real good, and I liked the main character. It was good. It was a unique twist. It's a story that you've seen countless times before, but the way that they add like little twists here and there, the way that the protagonist carries herself, I felt like it was unique enough, and the humor really added that little extra that just put it over the edge. So I think that You're Next, I've heard good things, and it definitely lived up to the hype. Alright, after You're Next, ranked at number 5, what are we at? 5? 4? 4. We're at 4. I'm ranking Dredd, okay? Dredd. Listen, it's a great action movie. It's got the most rainbow, sparkly colors to blood ratio in a film that I've ever seen. So that right alone, it deserves, I don't know, whatever. It's a good movie. It's a fun movie. The action is great. It tugs a little bit at your heartstrings at the very end. You're like, oh my gosh, that's a nice ending right there. I liked it. I thought it was fun. I think the concept is great too. Judge Dredd is essentially judge, jury, and executioner. In the future, the police force basically can execute you on the spot. And I thought it's an interesting concept. It's a high velocity, high paced action film that doesn't really slow down. Pacing's good, writing's good, it looks good. If you haven't seen it, Dredd, definitely check it out. Okay, down to the last 3. I'm gonna say number 3 is gonna be Pearl. Now, Pearl is an interesting movie because it was it's part of this trilogy that came out of nowhere, and I haven't seen the rest of them. Haven't seen X, haven't seen Maxine. I've only seen Pearl, but so far, I'm loving it. I think Mia Goth is incredible. I wasn't really aware of her too much until this trilogy, and now, man, she's a star. She can act like crazy. There's a monologue in this movie where they just let her work. She just goes and they don't cut away for a while, and she sells it, and the performance is great. She manages to make this absolutely insane woman seem oddly relatable, and you care about her even though she's completely nuts. So that being said, the writing is really good. I think it's a great movie. The performances are great. The gore is great. The story is good, and I just really enjoyed it, and I highly anticipate seeing the other 2 films in this trilogy. So yeah, Pearl, if you haven't seen it, it's good. It's good. Alright, we're at the top 2, and this is where people are really not going to be happy. They're not going to be happy. I have a feeling I'm going to get a couple of comments, but ranked at number 2, I have Talk to Me. People really like this movie, and for good reason. It's a really good movie. The writing is really good. The story is relatively unique. I like how they brought a horror movie into the new age. I feel like a lot of horror movies will still be using keyholes that you can look through and rotary phones, but this one was like, all right, no, we're gonna take Snapchat and Instagram and all that stuff, TikTok, and we're gonna make it scary. And they do it in a way that's not cringe or like, oh, a ghost friended me on MySpace. It's not like that at all. It's a good, interesting way to show it. It shows the insidious nature of peer pressure. It talks about mistrust and grief. It's great. It's great. I just didn't like it as much as number 1, which is Saint Maud. And the only reason that Saint Maud is above Talk to Me, the only reason is just because it really struck a chord with me. I grew up in a religious household, and I have recently kind of been struggling with my spirituality. I've been struggling with my esteem, my self-esteem, my identity. I've just been having kind of a hard time lately, and this movie, it really hit on a lot of those things that I've been thinking about, some of the anxieties I've been having, some of the things and the pressures that I've just been facing, and it took all of those things and it kind of portrayed them in a very tangible light. It was a horror movie that discussed really deep topics about religion and belief and delusions of grandeur and what happens when you die, and is it worth being a good person, or should you just have as much fun as you can now and just be gluttonous? And there's this really deeper conversation around the movie, and not only all of that, but the little bit of suspense, the way the story's told, the performances are great, the way it's shot, it looks good, it's a unique story, it touches on deeper aspects, and overall, I just thought it was a really fantastic movie. Talk to Me is incredible. It should have been number 1, but Saint Maud is just as good in my opinion, and it really hit home for me. So that is it for ranking recent watches. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, consider liking and subscribing. And if there's any of these movies that I talked about that you want me to talk about in more detail, well, leave a comment and I might get to it. No guarantees, but definitely leave a comment and I'll see what I can do. Again, thank you so much for watching. I love you so much, and I hope to see you in the next video.